Hello, hello, and welcome to the Sober Bliss podcast with me, Gail. Today, I am delighted to bring you a special edition of the podcast. This is a bumper, if you like, alcohol-free Christmas podcast special edition, where I will be sharing all my hints and tips about how to have an alcohol-free Christmas, why you might like to do it, and resources that I've already created for you. And all of that will be in the show notes as links. So welcome to this, as I said, special edition of the Sober Bliss podcast, coming to you today from a wet, windy and cold Spain, where it's Friday. We've just come off the back of a weird 3-day holiday. It's raining, but despite the grey and the dullness, it's starting to feel quite festive here. So I'm excited to bring you this podcast today. Now, I'd love to know where you are in your Christmas planning and preparation. Have you got your tree up yet? Let me know. We decorated our tree a couple of weeks ago now, I think it was. Which it's not an actual Christmas tree in the traditional way. It's actually a branch that we got from the wood a few years ago, and we keep it up all year round with the fairy lights. I obviously take off the Christmas decorations and I hang 3 lovely wooden ornaments that one of my past clients made for me, which is just so lovely. So all year round we have those and the fairy lights, because I just love the cozy vibe in the house all year round. But we do make a special effort at Christmas and put up the decorations. And it was really nice. I had hot chocolate, I think, this year when I decorated the tree. And it is such a great way to kick off the festive season. It's a lovely way to feel festive. And it's one of the things I share in a blog post that I wrote about how to feel festive without alcohol. And I will be sharing some of the tips in this podcast today. But if you want to read the whole blog post about that, then I will, of course, put the link in the show notes. So feeling festive over here, getting ready for Christmas. Only 2 weeks to go till Nico breaks up from school, which is very late, actually, right at the last minute. I think when's Christmas Day? On the 25th. So he breaks, his last day at school is the 23rd. I don't know what it's like where you are. But then he doesn't go back again until January the 9th. So that's our 2-week holiday. Anyway, what can you expect from today's podcast? Well, as I said, I'm going to share with you some of my top tips, the best advice that I've got. I'll be answering some questions from some of our members and sharing some experiences from myself about my past sober Christmases. This is going to be alcohol-free Christmas number 5 for me. Many of the lovely ladies in our membership are coming up to sober Christmas number 1, and some of them are 2 or 3. So there's lots of experience to draw from, which I'll be sharing with you today. If you are planning an alcohol-free Christmas, it doesn't matter if this is your first one or your 9th one even. If you still want a bit of encouragement, motivation and some ideas, then this episode is for you. But first of all, I want to share a couple of things. Now, if you are on my email list, you may have seen me talking about the Sober Bliss Advent emails, which began on December the 1st, strangely enough. So if you haven't signed up for those yet, then do so, because they're just so lovely. What it is a daily email directly from me to you with a lovely gift of sober support and inspiration for you. And they carry on all the way until the end of the year. So even though we're at, what's the 9th today as I'm recording this, you haven't missed much. Well, you've missed a lot because they're amazing. But there's so much more to come. And if you do want to start receiving those emails, the link is in the show notes. And of course, you will also get the previous emails that I've already sent out. So you won't miss out on anything. This is the first time that I've done this, specifically mini email course for Christmas, and the feedback has been amazing. As I said, people are really enjoying opening up their little gift every day, which is what it is. We all deserve a little bit of joy and happiness. So that's what you get. So the Advent gifts include things like a playlist that I really like or recommend. Maybe it's an inspiring quote or a recipe, a mini task, or something lovely for you to enjoy, some self-care advice or a little exercise for you to do. Anything that will bring you some joy and support to take with you throughout the day. So there you have it. If you want to start receiving those emails, then the link is in the show notes. And don't worry about missing or joining late, because you'll get all of the previous emails anyway. And it will be lovely to start sending you those emails. Really looking forward to that. So sign up. The link is in the show notes. And secondly, I have 2 one-to-one spots left for coaching beginning in January. As you know, I regularly do one-to-one coaching, but I only have space for 2 or 3 people every month. I've opened up an extra one for January because I know it's such an important time for people, such a difficult time, or it can be. So I've opened up another spot in January. So I have 2 available. If you think you might need some personalized support to help you start the new year and your new alcohol-free journey, then book a call so we can have a chat about that. Again, the link will be in the show notes. And one-to-one coaching is so powerful. It's super helpful and supportive and transformational. And I believe one of the best ways to get the help and support you need on this journey. And one of my current clients shared that she just loves the twice weekly sessions and the daily check-ins. We do those via WhatsApp, and how they're really helping her feel more confident and obviously supported, because she tried it before on her own and just hasn't been able to get to where she wanted to go. And she even commented the other day, she told me in one of our check-in sessions, on how she navigated one of her biggest triggers, which is being home alone. She navigated that and felt really good about it. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's about feeling good while we're on this journey. So if you want to begin 2023 feeling good and supported in your journey, then book that call and let's have a chat about working together. And the link is in the show notes for you as always. So here we go, a deep dive into enjoying an alcohol-free Christmas. Hints and tips, as I said, what to expect, how to do it, and why you might like to try it if it's something that you're thinking about. So if you haven't got a cup of tea ready, then go and do that now and come back and get cozy. Okay, are you back? Lovely. Now, when we're thinking about an alcohol-free Christmas, I'm going to share some benefits, some reasons why you might like to do it. But the most important thing, before we do anything else and look at strategies or our sober toolkit, any of that, is to decide, is to make that decision. If you've been following me for a while, you've heard some of my other podcasts, then you'll know that I love the Michael Jordan quote where he says, "Once I made a decision, I never thought about it again." Because that's what helped me massively when I came to stop drinking for myself. I would always decide and then talk myself out of it, as you know what that's like. But this time I made the decision and I stuck to it. And simply the making of that decision was the most liberating and freeing thing ever, because it's the thing that takes up most of the space in our head. It's that toing and froing, will I, won't I? And then thinking about all of the possible future scenarios and how we might miss it, and what will people think? What will they say? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? All of those things can be dealt with on the way. But you need to decide first and foremost. And honestly, once you've made that decision that actually I'm not going to drink alcohol this Christmas over the holidays, and you're okay at that, with that, and you make peace with that, then it's so liberating and it frees you up, your headspace, your energy, your time, your spirit for getting on and enjoying Christmas. So if you don't want to drink over the holidays, then decide, I'm not going to drink over the holidays, and it's going to be amazing. It's down to you, it really is. If you want to have a sober Christmas, a sober holiday season, then you absolutely can have one. The power is within you to do it. Doesn't matter what everybody else is doing, their expectations, their opinions, their thoughts. It's down to you. So if you want to do it, then you can do it. The power is yours to do it. When we make that firm decision, it's so much easier to stick to our plans, our desires, our dreams. And it's only when we say things like, perhaps I'll just have one, or, well, it's Christmas after all. Or we listen to other people when they say things like, go on, just have one, it's Christmas. Then our resolve starts to weaken and we end up in that internal battle, with ourselves all evening, or indeed all through the holidays, which is exhausting. And I don't want that for you, because it's no fun at all. Whereas an alcohol-free Christmas is the best fun ever, I promise. So, and this might help you if you know that it will never be just one, and you don't like the idea of what that means, or if you know that one just won't be enough, you will have more and you don't like what that might mean, then have none. Decide, commit that I'm not going to drink alcohol these holidays, because it is so much easier, as I said, and freeing and liberating to make that decision and not drink at all. And have the mindset with you that it's a good thing, because it absolutely is a good thing. So that's tip number 1. Make the decision and feel good about it. Okay, now I understand that might sound really simple. It is simple, not necessarily easy. And also, in order to make the decision, you need to have a reason why. Well, why would I? What's the point? What's in it for me? What benefit will I get? That kind of thing. So my next tip is to get clear, really, on why you want to have a sober holiday season, why you want to drink less, if that's where you're coming from with this, or why it's so much better to have none at all. What does it mean to you? So it doesn't matter then if you've been alcohol free for 2 days or 2 months, or indeed you're just starting right now. Focusing on why you're doing this, why you want to do it, why it's important to you, and thinking about the benefits, of which, as I said, there are so many, and focusing on what you're going to gain is really going to help you through. And not just help you, navigate it, white knuckle it if you like. That's not what we're about. But it's going to help you enjoy the festive season. My very first alcohol free Christmas was so good in the sense that it was the first time that I could really slow down and relax and do the things that I'd always said that I wanted to do but never got round to doing because I was obviously drinking. So it doesn't really matter what your dream is, what your desire is. Just know that being alcohol free at Christmas time is going to help you do it, and it's going to help you enjoy that connection and that family time and that slowing down. So please don't let the just because it's Christmas thing undo all of your hard work, and don't forget why you're doing this, and keep coming back to your why, your reason, because at the end of the day, this is your choice. It is a choice, and it's your decision. So take a bit of time to reflect on this. Reflect on your why. Sit with it. Take it for a walk. Meditate on it. Make a list. Make a note. Write about it. Maybe you could turn it into a mantra or a card, a letter to yourself, or picture, or a vision board if you like that kind of thing. I love them. And keep it with you. Keep looking at it. Keep tuning into it. Keep tapping into the feelings that come up when you think about your why and your reasons. Because this constant reminder, the constant support is really going to help you. It's such a good thing to remember why we're doing this and to remind ourselves that we are doing a wonderful thing for ourselves. And it will help us feel good about our decision, which is the most important thing. And your reason for doing this, for being alcohol free over the holidays, will of course be personal. And that's what's important. Doesn't matter what anybody else is doing, thinking, saying, how they're acting, what they're drinking. It's your choice, your decision, and it has to be personal. So your reasons might not be the same as mine, but I just want to highlight some of the whys, some of the gifts, some of the things that our members and other people I work with tell me, why they want to have an alcohol-free Christmas and New Year. Now, of course, the most obvious one, especially if you've got kids, is that you can wake up on Christmas morning hangover free. Wow. Have you done it? Yeah? Oh, it's such an amazing feeling. And it was the one thing that I was really looking forward to the most on my very first sober Christmas. And it's something that I still get excited about, even though my kids are older now. Joshua's going to be 21 in January. Nico's 13, so he's a grumpy teenager. But Christmas morning, waking up early, seeing if Santa's been, is just the best thing. And when you're trying to be excited and happy, feeling like crap is not the best thing. It's the worst thing. But doing it alcohol free is just amazing. I really can't recommend it enough. So think about how that feels, or will feel, and focus on that. What else? Christmas Eve sober is amazing too. In fact, the whole thing is just full of so much magic and sparkle. What do we do on Christmas Eve? Yeah, you might have a special Christmas Eve tradition that you know will just be so much better without alcohol. We are pretty low key at Christmas Eve, because over here in Spain, the 24th, so Christmas Eve is really big for families. It's their night, if you like, and then the presents and things come on the 6th of January. So it's not actually that Christmassy here. But we do have our own traditions, and one of them is Christmas Eve. As I said, it's usually low key. We have amazing food, and we watch one of our go-to movies, which is, I don't know, it could be Die Hard or Love Actually or The Holiday, one of those. Although this year we've opted for Top Gun Maverick. So no spoilers, please. If you've already seen it, we've bought it and we're saving it for Christmas Eve. And it's just going to be so amazing, so wonderful to have everything prepared, all the lovely food out, to sit and look at our tree, which is not a tree, but all the fairy lights, feeling all Christmassy and content and calm and happy. That's the thing that I love the most about Christmas Eve now that I'm not drinking. They are calm and happy. In the past, they were about as far removed from calm and happy as you can imagine. They always started off that way, but I remember still being up one morning at 2 in the morning, absolutely so drunk, trying to sneak the presents under the tree without waking the kids, but falling over, arguing with my husband. It was not good. So low key, calm and quiet for me is just the best. And nothing can make that feeling any better for me. It's just the best feeling, just as it is. No regrets, no blurring at the edges, no mixing things up, no forgotten presents, and no dodgy presents, actually, that you're wondering what on earth am I going to do with this, drinking and priming and all of that. So there's none of that anymore. And that's, just me personally, that's just how I feel. But to me, they make such a big difference. And tapping into those feelings really helped me get excited and really look forward to having another Christmas without alcohol. And if you want more ideas, more reasons, more suggestions, then I have got a blog post on reasons why a sober Christmas is the best gift you can give yourself, because I do believe that it is the best gift. And I'll put the link to that blog post in the show notes. But think about, everything. So not just Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, but everything else that involved in the holiday season. So the food, the company, what else? It'll probably be less expensive, which right now is a good thing. You will be truly present with your friends, your family, and your loved ones. And of course, it's such a good opportunity to really slow down and to relax and to look after yourself. It's been such a year, hasn't it? My gosh, I can't even begin to put into words what's happened this year. For me personally, I'm sure you've got personal things, but in general, on the whole, as a world, it's been such a year. And if, nothing else, see having an alcohol-free Christmas as a time to regroup, to slow down, to relax, to look after yourself. Even if you've had the best year in the world, you still deserve a bit of a break, a bit of a rest. And alcohol-free Christmases are the perfect thing to do. So think about that. Think about all the reasons and all the benefits why you want to have an alcohol-free Christmas, and they're really going to help you, when you're struggling, if you're finding it difficult, if I don't know, the relatives get too annoying, or the TV ads are in your face all the time, if you're, I don't know, bored with writing cards or wrapping the presents, or you're just having difficulty with the overwhelm in general, please come back to your why, play it forward, focus on the reasons and the benefits and the feelings, and think about how you want to feel. And that, I promise, is going to carry you through. And I'd love for you to share that with me. You can email me, gail@sober-bliss.com. Go into my website as well. You find all the contact information there, soberbliss.com. And let me know what your why is. Let me know how things are going for you and what you want out of an alcohol-free Christmas. One of our lovely members shared not long ago how things are going for her. She's just had Thanksgiving, which she did alcohol-free for the first time. And she said that in general, instead of the usual cycle of getting home from her job and then drinking all evening, which, she found exhausting because it is, she feels much more present and far less stressed. And she said, this year, I decided to give it a try and do it sober. There you go. That's that decision. And she said, I can't even begin to explain the difference. I still have all these responsibilities and things to do, but just by doing it with a clear mind means it's not feeling chaotic at all. And then she said, I'm really impressed and excited with how different things are running in this busy time of the year. So there you go. Another reason, another experience of why alcohol-free Christmases are just so good. Okay, so I'm going to share a quick tip with you now. If you know your reason, you know your why, something that's going to help you when the time comes is to treat Christmas Day. Now, I know that it's more than just Christmas Day, but that's the one that we all focus on. So treat Christmas Day or the day of a special event or activity, whatever is most challenging for you. Try and treat it like any other day, but maybe bring a little bit of magic and sparkle to it. Now, I know it might sound weird because obviously Christmas Day is not the same as, I don't know, August the 3rd or something. Plus, at this time of year, it seems that everywhere we look, booze is just being pushed on us. But really, it is just another day. And I'll say it again, don't let the just because it's Christmas excuse get in the way of what you really want, which by now you should have decided is an alcohol-free Christmas. So plan your Christmas Day or the challenging day event, whatever it might be for you. Plan that day as you would any other day, any other event. So know your triggers, stick to your routines, keep doing what you have been doing, if that is working for you right now. So don't, forego your sleep, your exercise, your lemon water. Keep your sober toolkit handy, because although it's Christmas Day, it's still just another day. And that's really important to remember. There have been boozy Christmases in the past. You already know what that looks like. You know that alcohol is a toxin. You know you don't need it in your life, which is why you're doing this in the first place. So because it's Christmas, is that a good enough reason to poison yourself again? I don't think so. So focus your attention, your energy, do on Christmas Day what you would do on, I don't know, March the 22nd, for example. And when December 26th, 28th, 29th rolls around, it'll all be over anyway. And how amazing are you going to feel when you did it sober? And that means that I want you to be selfish. Now, I say this, with as much love as possible, and I mean it in the best possible way. I do want you to be selfish, or at the very least, don't forget about yourself. Don't forget about you. Don't forget about how much capacity you have available to you, and try not to overdo it just to please other people. People pleasing is one of the biggest causes of stress at Christmas time, and stress, as we know, is one of the reasons why we turn to alcohol, to escape it. And Christmas is so full on. There's obviously the parties, the nights out, the shopping, the organising. There's, school plays, pantomimes, family gatherings, neighbourhood get-togethers, all concentrated over, 2 or 3 weeks, which is intense. And it can leave us feeling overwhelmed and spreading ourselves far too thin with no room for us in between, which leads us to feel anxious and wrought and stressed and overwhelmed. So my best piece of advice, I would say, is only do what you want to do, not what you think you have to do, not what you think you should do, not what other people expect of you. And this is where the planning comes in. Spend some time planning what it is that you want to do, which is my next tip. So if you are the party type and you want to go out, you love getting dressed up, you love the occasion and don't want to give that up, then don't. Go to the parties and the events if that's what you genuinely want to do. And just make sure that you're prepared in advance, and you've got all of the things, available to you to help you through that event or party. So again, it's your decision, it's your choice. You get to decide if you want to go to these things, then say yes, but say no to the ones that you don't want to go to. If the office party or, the annual get together with the people down the road is just too much, or it fills you with horror, and it did even when you were drinking, then you don't have to go. You really don't have to go. You don't have to explain yourself either. And actually, because it's such a busy time and everybody's got a million things going on, just say that you're already booked or you've got something planned, even if you haven't. So then you can stay in with your duvet and a DVD or spend time with your family. Remember that just because you've always done something doesn't mean that you have to keep doing it. Again, it's that just because it's Christmas doesn't mean that you have to put yourself in danger or ruin the amazing work that you've already been doing. And this is where a little bit of thought and planning and preparation will come in handy. And it's actually the most important thing that you can do. The more you can prepare in advance for any particular situation, remember we're talking about the good ones and not just the challenging ones, then it's going to be easier to manage and handle. If you are looking for a way to help you plan and prepare, then I'd love for you to come and join us in the Blissfully Sober membership space, where you will get my gorgeous 100-page Christmas sobriety planner absolutely free. And it is an amazing thing to help you plan and prepare all the way until the end of the year. So think about what is coming up for you, whether you want to go or you don't want to go. Again, in the planner, there is some pages to help you do that, and there is the Festive Sober toolkit. So I want you to think about what's helping you so far. If you've been to events before and you haven't had a drink, how did you do it? What helped you? What alcohol-free drinks did you really enjoy? All of those things. Find out as much as possible before you go to any event, even if it's just around the corner. Who's going? Are there going to be any alcohol-free alternatives? Can you take your own drinks? How are you going to get there? What time are you going to get there? Can you leave early? Are there going to be other sober folk there who you can talk to? Or do you have, easy access to a trusted friend or somebody you can talk to if necessary? Similarly, if you are hosting, if you're at home, then fill your fridge with as many delicious alcohol-free drinks as you possibly can. Thankfully, there's such a brilliant range available now. And, prepare yourself, visualize yourself enjoying the evening alcohol-free, having a good time. Practice saying no. And remember, you don't need to explain yourself to anybody. Just make something up if you need to, and just focus on having a good time. It is Christmas after all, and you are allowed to relax and enjoy yourself. Just make sure you know how to do it safely. Perhaps you want to switch things up completely and do something totally different. Remember, one of the great things to help you when you're on the alcohol-free journey is to do things differently, to break old routines and patterns and behaviors and habits. And we can absolutely do that at Christmas time by maybe creating new traditions. I want you to know that it's okay to not do the same things that you've always done, especially if you know they're going to be difficult for you. So switching things up is a really great way of supporting your choice not to drink. Creating a new tradition is a lovely way of bringing in that feeling of joy and happiness and supporting your choice. It's a great way to protect your sobriety and still have fun and still make it magical and wonderful and part of your new normal. So, for example, if you've always decorated the tree in the evening with wine, then why not do it on a Sunday morning with hot chocolate and snacks or a lovely coffee instead, to make it different, to make it special, to make it new. Our members are putting up their trees now. Some of them have already got them up, like me. And one of the ladies commented the other day that not having a glass in her hand while decorating the tree made no difference to her joy. She said it was a great feeling. And it's worth remembering that these things, whether it's decorating our trees, looking at the lights in our area, visiting Christmas displays, like I used to do at Phoenix Window in Newcastle when I lived in the UK, whether it's going to pantomimes, nativity plays or carol services, even, the annual Christmas Eve party, if you like to do that. Those things are fun and nice things to do anyway, and they don't need any enhancing with alcohol at all. And you can do them alcohol free and they will still be lovely and amazing. But if you want to do something new, something different, then do it. And if it helps you do it alcohol free, feeling good, then absolutely do it. One of my friends is going for a picnic on the beach this year, which is something that she's never ever done before. Obviously, she's really scared, but really excited. So you could do that too. If you just wanted to get away from it all, there are no rules. I think that's what I'm trying to say. You don't have to do what everybody else expects you to do or what you've always done, unless, of course, you want to. And I think that is probably the most important advice, is to listen to your heart, to follow your own intuition, and do what feels right for you. Keeping it simple, keeping it quiet if necessary, allowing yourself to take it slowly and be gentle is one of the best things you can do, especially if this is your first alcohol-free Christmas. You know what a drinking Christmas looks like. You really do, which is probably why you don't want to do it this year. And this is therefore an opportunity to create something new and special and wonderful and lovely for yourself and your family. And you can build on it. So at the end of the day, I want you to think about what Christmas really means to you. Like, what's it all about? Why is it important? Is it spending time with your family? Is it helping out in the community? Is it volunteering? Is it giving away your time and, energy to help a good cause? Or is it just taking a day off and being with the people you love? You know what it means to you. You know why it's important. And that is the thing that's really going to help you through it. So don't feel forced to do anything you don't want to do. Don't feel you have to do the usual extravagant gift giving or parties or, take part in the overindulgent Christmas lunches. Don't feel under pressure to buy the best gifts, to have the most amazing tree or table or, whatever it is on Instagram. Which is another tip, actually. I don't know if you know this, but I quit social media in February. So I won't be feeling less than or envious or jealous or anything like that when I'm looking at other people's Instagram pictures of their tree, because it's not real life and I'm happy with my own tree. Thank you very much. So yeah, you might want to think about having a break from social media if you find that triggering. Yeah, so don't feel under pressure to do something that you don't want to do, I think is what I'm saying. Just because it's Christmas, remember, don't let that get in the way. Protecting yourself at Christmas, protecting your sobriety, looking after yourself is the most important thing that you can do. So do what you're comfortable with and don't apologize for it. Try and stick to your normal routines as much as you possibly can. Remember, we talked about that before. Your toolkit, have a look at that. Maybe spend a bit of time planning in extra things that you might need and leaning on what works for you, what always helps you through a difficult time. Do those things. Get outside in nature as often as you can. Make sure that your support network is close by. And remember that if this is your first alcohol-free holiday season, there will be more and they will get better and better the more practice that you have. So enjoy it. Enjoy being present. Enjoy the food. Enjoy spending time with your family, your kids, the people who matter to you the most, and enjoy taking it easy and slowing down and looking after yourself. So I really hope that this podcast has given you some ideas, some food for thought, a little bit of inspiration. Maybe it's put things into perspective for you. Maybe it's given you that feeling that, yes, I can do it. And it's going to be so wonderful when I do it alcohol free. But above all, I hope it's helped to take the pressure off, to know that no matter what happens, how you do it, as long as it feels good to you, then that is the main thing. So don't forget that if you do need some support, then come and join us in the membership. Book a call to chat about one-to-one coaching if that's what you need, or send me an email if you've got a question and you need some more support. gail@soberbliss.com, and I put all the links in the show notes, so let me know. Are you planning an alcohol-free Christmas this year? Is it going to be your first one? What are you looking forward to? What ideas do you have for the food, the tree, the activities, all of those things? I want to hear all about it. So send me an email, gail@sober-bliss.com. Come and join us in the membership or get in touch. Thank you so much for listening, and I really hope that you have a magical, wonderful, really happy Christmas, because you absolutely deserve it. Bye for now.